Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. Hope you're doing great wherever you may find yourselves. Blessings to all, and welcome to another episode of Faceoff Friday, where I pit two albums against each other, usually from two separate bands, sometimes two albums from the same band or artist in a discography, but today is two different bands, and I pit them against each other to see which of the two I think is the better, which of the two reigns supreme, if you will, as I like to say on this channel. And today is the two debut albums from thrash metal bands Anthrax and Megadeth. So you have Fistful of Metal, the One and Done with Neil Turbin, and of course, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. The remodified album cover, and this version dedicated to the memory of Gar Samuelson, as it says on the back. All right, so let's start with Anthrax. The first song is Death Rider. This is fast, this is furious, this is crushing, this is pounding, this is pummeling. I love it. This is what a thrash album should sound like. 10 out of 10 all the way. And this album is very similar to Metallica's Kill 'Em All in the sense that it's very raw and unpolished, and I think that works in the favor of this type of music. As much as I like Ride the Lightning, I wish it was a little more sounding like the rawness that is Kill 'Em All. And I'm so glad that this is the rawness that it is, in a similar vein, Nirvana's first album, Bleach. All right, so Death Rider, 10 out of 10. Number 2 is my favorite song on the album, Metal Thrashing Mad. I do like the Joey Belladonna version better, but I still like this version well enough to give it a 10 out of 10. It is my favorite song on the album. It is one of their best songs of all time, Anthrax that is, whether you're talking about this version or the Joey Belladonna. I love it. 10 out of 10. It's what a thrash metal song should sound like. I want to, raise my fist and pump it and, that kind of thing. I saw Anthrax live at a very small club here in New Orleans named Jimmy's back in the 90s. Let's see. Yeah, the early 90s. And Joey Belladonna, one of the band members, took off their tank top as an Anthrax shirt and threw it in the crowd. And it landed on my shoulder. I hadn't realized that it was hitting. I went like this, and someone picked it up. But anyway, I could have washed it and took it home. Hey, look what I got. But I wasn't thinking. So anyway, so 10 out of 10 for Metal Thrashing Mad. Next is a cover song, I'm 18 by Alice Cooper. It's good, but not great. It works, though, as an Anthrax song. You have a great solo here. Again, it works the same way Van Halen makes some of their cover songs work, or a similar way, rather. You live by the sword, you die by the sword when it comes to doing a cover song, and it works here. All right, 8 out of 10 for I'm 18. Next, 10 out of 10. This is a great, heavy thrash metal song. Great riffs. It's fast, it's pounding, it crushes. There's a great pacing of percussion and guitar and drums at the same time. They're so linked and locked in together. I'm talking about the song Panic, 10 out of 10. A perfect song, if you ask me. Next is also a 10 out of 10 song. I'm talking about Subjugator. It's not a fast-paced song, but it's heavy in its own right. You have an amazing guitar solo here. So 10 out of 10. So far, so good. I'm loving this album, right? Next, you get Soldiers of Metal. I give this an 8 out of 10. It's a good song, not a great, or a very good song, rather. That's an 8 for me. A very good song, but not a great album, so it's not a 9, so an 8. And this is not the sole reason why I don't give this a 9 out of 10 or an 11, but there's this dun 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 dun, something like that sounds very similar to Am I Evil. But the overall reason, or the main reason I give this an 8 out of 10 is just missing something. It's just not as solid as the songs that came before. There's a little bit of a falling off. But it's still a very good song, just not a 10, not a masterpiece of a song. All right, so next is track number 7, Death From Above. This is a song I don't care for very much. I give it a 6 out of 10, and that's because it sounds like Neil is singing Jafida, Jafida, Jafida instead of Jet Fighter. So it turns me off. The music's okay. It's a combination of how he says Jet Fighter and the music. very similar to what comes before. Not similar in the sense that the music is the same, but there's just something missing. But this is worse than the previous song, which I gave an 8. I give a 6 here. It just doesn't work for me, is essentially what I'm saying. Next, you get a mid-tempo and fast song that I just love. The solo is exquisite. I give this a 10 out of 10, and that is the band track called Anthrax. This is a marvel of a song. I kind of sometimes wish that Belladonna would have done the song. Maybe he has live, but not studio-wise. But that's okay. I really like Neil's voice on this album. It's really good. It's solid. All right. Great song, 10 out of 10 for, again, Anthrax. Now, Across the River is really an intro for the next song, which is Howling Furies. You can really listen to both of these songs as one track. Think the same way, Eruption and You Really Got Me, and, Oh Pretty Woman, and Intruder, and, Battle Axe, and the song that follows that on the Quiet Riot album, right? The song is eluding me, but you get my point. I love this introduction. I love Greek mythology, but that's not really the reason why. It's part of it, but the main bulk of the reason why I love the song is because of the music itself. It's thrash metal all the way. It's just a great intro, 10 out of 10. Next is the fabulous, my second favorite song, some days my favorite song on the album after Metal Thrashy Mad, and that is the Howling Furies. Again, I love some Greek mythology. I teach it to my 8th, 9th, and 10th grader students year in and year out. The guitar here is stellar. You got some cool heavy guitar. Also, it's melodic at times. I love it. You have some great vocals. You have some wonderful lyrics. And the riff here sounds a bit like Judas Priest / Accept. It's glorious. So, if you do it by the numbers, that song is a 10 out of 10. You get a 9.2, which for me is in between great and excellent, because excellent is a 9.5, 9 is great. So this is a great album for me. All right, let's talk about this debut. All right. The opening track, Last Rites / Love to Death, starts with piano, which is very classical sounding. It's beautiful. And then you get some guitar that comes in with that. And then the guitar gets really heavy, thrash metal heavy, really serious, amazing. This even made its way to, I think, a car commercial where the car's driving through the desert. I can't remember what the car company was, but I remember sitting on the couch waiting for the game to come on with my friend. I was at a party, and we went, dude, that's awesome. Anyway, I don't say dude very often at the age of 57, but there I definitely did. I think I know Mustaine was a big fan growing up of the Sad Wings of Destiny album by Judas Priest, and you have the piano with Prelude and then the guitar with Tyrant. So maybe that was influenced to do the same thing with the piano and then the guitar, and it works really good. 11 out of 10 for Last Rites / Love to Death. Next is Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. If you read the Dave Mustaine biography, he reveals that he's a big fan of the comic book Punisher. And we know this because of the Rust in Peace album, The Punishment Due, Holy Wars, right? I'm wondering if this has to do with that as well. I'm not sure. The title seems to suggest that. Maybe it's just about a hitman. Who knows? But it also reminds me of Judas Priest because of the album cover, killing machine kind of thing. So anyway, this is an 11 out of 10 song. I love it. The vocals are great. Thrash, heavy, madness is the song. I love it. Next is a headbanger of a song, riffs galore. I also give this an 11 out of 10, and that is the song The Skull Beneath the Skin. So you have 11 out of 10s right off the bat, back to back to back. Great song again because of the riffs. Riffs galore in the song. Next, the fourth track is, as you know, Rattlehead. And this is a very thrashy song, go figure. It's groovy thrash. There's no other way to describe it, I think. And the tone is vibrant and yet pummeling at the same time. Let me repeat that. It's vibrant and pummeling at the same time. It's wonderful. I give this a 9 out of 10. Next, track number 5 is Chosen Ones. Bit of a falling off. This is an 8 out of 10 for me. The vocal phrasing from Mustaine is the gem of this song. It is a very good song, but not a great song. I do like it quite a bit. Next, track number 6 is Looking Down the Cross. A very eerie intro. I love it. Okay. A guitar comes in, and I'm like, wow, I'm blown away by this. The vocal phrasing in combo with the guitar is nice, and the solo is exquisite. but I only give it an 8 out of 10 because there's something missing, and I'm not sure what it is. But it's still, for 8, 8's very good for me, so it's still a very good song. Next is Mechanics. I also give this an 8 out of 10. This pales in comparison to the Four Horsemen. And I guess part and parcel is because I heard the Four Horsemen first. And it's just heavier. It's rawer. There's something missing here, and I'm not sure what it is. Again, it could just be because I've got the Four Horsemen in my DNA compared to Mechanics. The lyrics aren't as good. But I love the slow intro and then the build-up. This is a very good song still. I give it an 8 out of 10. I like songs about cars, trampled underfoot, right? Zeppelin, you name it. So 8 out of 10 for Mechanics. Finally, These Boots, the Nancy Sinatra song. I think it works. They make kind of silly doing the song, but if you listen to it and you like it, you're like me, you feel in your DNA that this song somehow works as a Megadeth song. Okay? They make a fun tune from the 60s, from the go-go boots, right? Walking Nancy Sinatra into a thrash metal song, and Dave and Megadeth makes it work. They make it their own. You got some cool blues guitar here in the solo. The percussion and drums is part of the star of the show here. Great song. Very good song, I give this an 8 out of 10. So I told you that this was a 9.2. No numbers after that, because it adds up to 92 divided by 10 tracks, 9.2. This, you have 8 tracks. You do it by the numbers. It's a 9.25. What does my gut tell me, though? Okay, by the numbers, this wins compared to this. But with my gut, and it's gut that matters. Which one matters? You ready? Is it this one? Is it this one? It's this one. Okay, it's this one. But not by much. Not by much. Even without doing it by the numbers. My instinct and my gut tells me this is the better album. But still, it's neck and neck, folks. All right, almost touching. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Please post in the comments your thoughts. Take care now. God bless. Bye now.